Alright, so I was walking around in town and I found this thing. It's sort of a central area. There's also this, but don't really know what it does. But emergency power off push button. It's just sort of in the middle of things. And there's a lot of lights and stuff over here and like a fountain. I swear, it must be funny to see that turned off. All the people around here. It's gotta be like daily or something for button that. Alright, so I'm in town. I'm in sort of a back area, and it's really cold. I mean, I suppose someone from like Canada would give me crap for saying like 19 degrees or whatever is cold, but it's well, it's cold to me. And it was like mid 50s earlier, so I've got a windbreaker on, and that's about it. Alright, I guess we'll just hop into the news. I am in a different location. I figured I'd show you that. I don't really want to show you it too much because you probably know what city I'm in. There's that. There's that going on in the background. Pretty late too, so I can understand why there isn't really people. Alright, this video is probably going to be full of some cuts, because although there isn't many people, there's random groups of drunk college students walking around. I suppose it is just a few days before the semester starts, so I can understand, but, I mean, even so, I figured that was sort of a Friday thing, not a Wednesday thing, but whatever. I suppose everyone wants to have fun sometime. So yeah, there's random groups, and I am in town, so I have to stop every... Alright, so I have to move locations because there's a lot of people walking around, considering it's late on a Wednesday when it's 19 degrees out. But I suppose it is still winter break for most people. Oh yeah, this place should be pretty empty. Alright, so I guess I'll finish off that kind of series I was doing, I guess, of TV thoughts. I'll probably do another one if I get into a good show, but so I'm pretty much done with The Leftovers, because the show has gone in like 30 directions and I'm not really sure about 15 of them. And I'm sure I have at least 10 of the ones I do know completely off base. So it got weird. It's going in a lot of directions. Originally, when I started watching it, it was just sort of like a cop who's a single parent and he's just dealing with this weird world. But now it's, God, I don't even know. It's just crazy and, well, anyways, it got too hard to follow, and also it basically lost the reasons I watched it in the first place. Yeah, I guess you can't really see that. I'll go back over here. Alright, so more or less I'm dropping that show. As for other things, it's kind of cold and my brain's not really working because it's pretty late as well. But there's basically just two other pieces of news, or I guess three. I discovered that bureaucratic offices close at 12 on Wednesdays, which is, honestly, like, if I was king for a day, one of those games you play as a kid, if you were president for a day, or if you're king for the day or whatever, what would you do? Well, one of the things is I would make it mandatory for all bureaucratic offices to work around the hours of human beings with jobs. So, gotta be open a good number of hours, and those hours can't be like 10 to 12 or 10 to 4. Anyway, so, as into the real news, I started a book, I read into it a little, but I got really into it today, and I'm finishing the first one soon. I think I'm like an hour and a half away. It's an audiobook named We Are Alive or We're Alive. It's an audio play. It's kind of amazing because they have sound effects for everything, and then they have legitimate reasons to hear what you're hearing. And that's that for the first while, the main character keeps a log, and so you hear his conversations and his reports on things. Then afterwards, he makes it mandatory for all the people in his group to keep logs, just so that they can... The excuse in the book is so that they can keep track of what's happening and like what the. It's a post-apocalyptic. It's got zombies, kinda, but they're not. They don't seem to be like brain munchers or like well, I was gonna say I Am Legend zombies, but I Am Legend zombies are vampires. So, as for and that's not a spoiler. I haven't read it in a while, but I'm pretty sure he called them vampires through the whole thing. As for, or at least in the book, the movie is just kind of, let's make Will Smith look good and we'll make a ton of money. And whatever, it did. But anyways, the other characters keep logs, I guess, to like know what's happening with the zombies so they can coordinate and all that. But so the result is that about halfway through the book, you can start hearing hearing conversations and stuff. Not entirely stuff that someone would write in a journal, but I mean it's an excuse anyways. You can hear from other characters' perspectives, and only once the logs really started, and that's really great too, because the results of this is that I don't know, you felt engaged and it felt like a real world, but then also all the crazy sound effects and stuff they added, and a different actor for every voice, I think. Anyways, there's certainly a lot of actors, resulted in it feeling like a world. I like audiobooks and I like books a lot, but oftentimes I have to imagine the world in myself. This thing, like a character says, the pot's clang to the ground. I imagine that in my head. The character doesn't say it. They just say "ow," and then you hear a banging sound, and you know what it is. So, I don't know. It's kind of amazing. Uh-oh. It says I have 5% left. Time to hurry. As for the last thing, it's really nothing, but I finished a scarf I've been working on sewing for a long time. Several feet long. I just ran out of yarn at this point, so frankly, if it's not long enough, it's long enough. Not sure who's going to get it. Maybe I'll wear it. But it's, I don't know, I'm proud of it. Took several hours, and I seem to be, if not good at it, I'm not bad at it either, which is fun, and I don't know. It's a fun thing. Oh, fun thing. Sort of a final note, but I'm kind of glad I don't live in a big city. Because even the city I live in this like back alley, I mean, to be fair, I'm like a block away from the central part of town, but even this back alley, late at night, on a Wednesday, there's people walking by all the time. Thus far, it's been like 4 people for restaurants throwing away trash. And I don't blame them or anything, but it's, I don't know. I'm glad I don't live in something like New York. I couldn't go anywhere, even if I lived a decent ways away from the city, or Chicago or something. If I was far away from the city, there'd still be people all the time, and I don't know. I like solitude. I like people too, but I like solitude. So, I don't know. Well, I guess this is the end. Alright, so I suppose he's saying goodbye for us.